Hey guys, so in January I'm going to be celebrating 1 year sober, and I thought it'd be a good time to make this video, especially before the upcoming holidays. I know Thanksgiving just passed, but I feel like especially Christmas holidays, especially New Year's holidays, that's when things tend to get a little bit crazy. So I wanted to make a video all about how to stay sober during the holidays, because sometimes that can seem extremely daunting and not doable at all, because everyone's celebrating, people are drinking, it's kind of everywhere. And yeah, when everyone around you is drinking and toasting and pouring champagne and wine, and there's like a fridge full of beer, whatever it is that you like to drink, again, it can be very hard to steer clear of alcohol during the holidays. So here are a few of my tips that have really helped me, and maybe they'll help you too. So the first tip that I have before going into any event, any party, is to have a plan. You absolutely have to have a plan when you start craving things. You need to have a plan before you go to the event or party, so that way you can have like a little exit strategy in case you start getting a little overwhelmed or feeling like this is too much, or maybe your craving is just hitting a little too hard. What I like to do, this is what I did when I quit smoking cigarettes and when I quit drinking alcohol, was I just excused myself from the party for just a few minutes. That was a key thing for me, was just being able to walk outside. I would walk the dog, I would go to the bathroom, I would hit up the snack bar or whatever. Just have somewhere where you can go and possibly just be alone by yourself for a few minutes, and that can really help kind of clarify things. That definitely has helped me in the past, especially when I quit smoking. It was really difficult to, at the time I was still drinking too, so when I quit smoking first, it was hard to drink and not smoke. It was hard to be around other people who were drinking and smoking and not smoke. So I would go to the bathroom, I would walk the dog, and just getting away and spending some time by myself, it made me realize that smoking is not something I wanted to go back to. It made me realize that drinking is not something I want to go back to. Also, to tie in with this, is you really want to tell people beforehand that you're not drinking. Letting people know beforehand that I'm sober was a big step, and it was also, it made it easier. Like if I go to a party and people just already know I'm not drinking, people don't even bother to offer me an alcoholic beverage. They have other drinks available. Like Kyle and I had people over for Thanksgiving, and some people brought sober drinks. They brought sparkling waters, and they brought a holiday Sprite with cranberry flavoring in it, and it was just really nice. And that's happened several times before. If I go somewhere and people know I'm sober, they have other drink options for me, and usually I'm not the only one who's sober. Sometimes, I mean, it's rare, but sometimes there's at least like one other person or a couple other people at a party, and we're like a little sober club, I guess. Another time when people came over, I actually started serving hot chocolate in the kitchen, because there were like 3 other people at the party, of like people I didn't really know very well. They were like friends of friends. So they came over and I didn't know that they were sober. So I was like, oh, I have like sparkling cider, I have tea, I have cocoa. Like, would you like a hot cup of cocoa? Because it was really cold outside. They're like, yeah, let's have cocoa. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. But yes, let people know ahead of time that you are sober, and that will make this easier. And that's what you need during this time, especially, is you need a support group. So whether that's also calling like your sponsor, or calling like a therapist, or calling someone who is a supportive person for you, you need someone that will help keep you accountable. And something that's really helped me throughout my sober journey is telling you guys, like all of you guys, all of you guys that have been watching these videos of mine and supporting me, and every time you guys leave just really cool comments and telling me about your sober experience and your sober journey and how long you guys have been sober, or how long you've quit smoking, or you know, all that good stuff. It's just really motivated me, and it's also helped keep me accountable too, because you guys also check in with me, whether it's on Instagram or on my videos or on Twitter. You guys check in with me like every week, and you're like, hey, how's it going? Are you still sober? Are you drinking? Are you smoking? I'm like, nope, like still going strong. So those are the first few tips that I have. So just having a plan in action before you go anywhere. Also letting people know that you are sober, and this is it. Like, you're a sober person. So don't offer me shit. If you need to, call someone. I can't stress this enough. If you really feel like, okay, this seems like too much, overwhelming, I can't do this by myself, I need support, call someone. Again, it could be a sponsor, a therapist, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, someone who's going to root for you. And then stepping back into the party isn't so heavy, it's not so daunting, it seems easier. Also, this is probably my favorite tip, but what I was just talking about, having sober beverages, is really key. When I became sober, all of a sudden, a whole world just opened up to me where I realized I really love the taste of this, or I really love that flavor. And especially when I quit smoking, because your taste buds it's like your taste comes back. And sometimes I'd realize when I was drinking before that I didn't really want a beer with my dinner. I really didn't want to have like an alcoholic beverage with my dinner. Sometimes I was like, oh, I'm really craving like a sparkling water, or I'm really craving a Coke, because I like to have that every once in a while. Not all the time, but every once in a while. Or I'd really like to have some sweet tea or something like that. If you do want to have a fancy drink that looks like a cocktail but isn't a cocktail, mocktails are a thing. Let me tell you, mocktails are a thing. If you just look at the menu at the restaurant that you're at, if you are at a restaurant, sometimes they have mocktail menus, which is awesome. And if they don't, they can make anything virgin. One of my favorites and go-to is a Shirley Temple. I just love Shirley Temples because I really love Sprite. Whether they make it with Sprite or ginger ale, I really love both. It's just tasty and delicious and sweet. I really like sweet drinks, so that's my thing. Something that is difficult is if you're with a group of people who don't know you're sober. Maybe some people do, but maybe there's a lot of people at a party who don't know you're sober, and they kind of like go, oh, you're not drinking? Ugh. Don't pay them any attention. Who cares what they have to say? Who cares about their opinions? They're gonna be hungover as hell tomorrow, and you're not. You're gonna wake up in the morning feeling fresh, feeling good, probably being very productive. You're gonna be feeling really good. You're gonna smell really good. You're gonna look really good, because guess what? You stayed hydrated. Don't pay any attention to people who are being down on you for not drinking. That says so much more about their relationship with alcohol than it does you. And think of all the positives that not drinking has given you this far. Think of all the things that you want for your life that don't involve drinking, because guess what? Drinking isn't everything. And once you give it up for a while, you start to realize that. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent, but those are my main tips. So again, I'm just gonna repeat myself one more time. Before you go anywhere, have a plan. So have an exit plan. If you absolutely need to just leave the party, that's okay too. Let people know beforehand that you are sober, and if you need to, call someone. Anyone who could be supportive. You could text them, you could ask them like, hey, I'm really struggling here, like, can we talk for a few minutes? Whatever. Also having some sober beverages that you really like. So you could bring a few drinks that you really like that are sober, because I know anytime people go to parties, it's like BYOB, but yeah, bring your own sober drinks. I don't know why I'm like stuttering over this word. But that's it for this video. I hope it wasn't too much of a ramble. I hope you guys are having a good holiday, and you can do this if you are going into being sober and this is your first like holiday season being sober. You can do it. Believe me. If I can do it, anyone can do it. There are some really cool victory stories over on Instagram, so definitely check out hashtags. I find that motivating in itself, is just seeing people's like before and after of drinking and then not drinking. There are some warriors on Instagram, so definitely check out like those hashtags like sober living, sober AF, sober life, like all those hashtags. Those are great. And while you're at it, follow me on Instagram, because I like to post sober stuff every once in a while. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys are doing great. You got this. I'm rooting for you. Have a happy holiday season. Sober. Yeah. Gucci. Okay. Bye.